Hello and welcome to Alpha Mi Omega Pankration. Here you're going to get a glimpse of the ancient Hellenic martial art, as well as analysis videos including modern day matches of different disciplines, analysis of historical battles, and how the strategy involved translates to one on one martial arts, and finally videos on philosophic discussion that include ancient Hellenic philosophy. But let's begin with the first series. What is Pankration? Pankration's origins stem from two mythological figures, one being Theseus, known for his centauromachies and for slaying the Minotaur in Crete, and the other being Heracles, the son of Zeus and divine hero. He was said to have created Pankration in order to overcome the labor of killing the lion of Nemea. All in all, both of these mythological figures were accredited with the creation of Pankration. But the word itself, Pankration, stems from the words pan, meaning all, and kratos or krato. Kratos means strength, while krato is a verb that means ruling or mastering. A practitioner of Pankration would need to know all facets of combat, hence the name, Pankration, or all mastering. Now you may also know Pankration under other names, such as Pankration, Pancratium, Pangration, Pangration, and others. Most of these are actually correct. In modern Greek, the combination of gamma and kappa make a hard G sound, where in ancient Greek they made an N and K sound. So it's Pankration in ancient Hellenic pronunciation, but Pangration in modern Greek pronunciation. The four main aspects of Pankration are Piktiki, the art of boxing, Laktiki, the art of kicking, Pali, the art of wrestling, and Kato Pankration, which is groundwork, very similar to modern day jiu-jitsu. So far, you may think that Pankration is very similar to modern day mixed martial arts. However, it is a bit different. Firstly, Pankration matches were carried out in open sided arenas called palestra. A palestra was a circular and sometimes rectangular arena where boxing, wrestling, and Pankration matches were held. The Pankratias that fought in the palestra were barefoot and did not wear boxing gloves. There are cases of Pankratias that did wear boxing gloves in Pankration matches, though these are mostly attributed to boxers crossing over to Pankration that didn't know the bare fist or open hand techniques. Other than the basic rules of no gouging of the eyes or no pulling of the opponent's hair and no striking to the groin, Pankration had another rule which very much differentiates it from popular UFC ruling. That rule is orthopeia, which dictates that strikes could only be thrown while the fighters were standing, meaning that ground and pound was not allowed. You could only use joint manipulations or chokes after a successful takedown. Now, due to the history of Pankration and how it was a major event in ancient Hellenic Olympics, there is a strong basis in the request to bring Pankration back to its rightful place. Having a full contact combat sport in the Olympics would be huge in regards to growing a community and legitimizing the sport as a whole. Getting more people interested in Pankration leads to more and better competition, as well as more public recognition, funding, and growth. Of course, the competitive nature of Pankration would be considered its craft, but we also have to take into account its artistic value. The majority of people that will endeavor into martial arts don't want cauliflower ears, bloodied eyes, or the possibility of incurring brain damage. This means that there's less interest in competition and more interest in the martial arts' inherent artistry, its workout routines, or even the mental aspects associated with martial arts, like discipline, increased self-confidence, emotional control, and of course the ability to face and combat your fears. But you may ask, what use is a martial art that you can't apply in competition or in a self-defense scenario? Think of it as owning a beautiful decorative sword. You know it won't save you in a life or death situation, but you can still appreciate its beauty. Hence the appeal of Kung Fu and Aikido, as they don't focus as much on practicality and sparring, but rather they focus on the wide range of exotic techniques. Another example is Taekwondo, which one can learn as a sport to compete in, but it also includes a wide range of aerial and flashy kicks that require athleticism and skill in order to master. It has both function and artistry. The only thing one would say is lacking in the martial art are the other aspects of combat, such as boxing and wrestling. The techniques that one is taught in Pankration will depend on the practitioner's stature, their skill, and their style, so no two people are going to learn the exact same techniques. That being said, Pankration did have aerial strikes and exotic techniques similar to those found in traditional Muay Thai. but it also encompassed all aspects of combat. This, paired with the fact that Pankration can also be taught as a sport, makes it a well balanced, functional, but also artistic martial art. Pairing artistry and functionality is something that the Greeks sought out in every facet of their culture. It is apparent in their language, their architecture, and even their storytelling. But with the absence of Pankration academies, and many of those existing being far from authentic, how can one learn Pankration? To fill this gap, I've created this very channel, a channel where I will be posting videos that will display Pankration's techniques, analyze the mindset that the practitioners had, as well as study the strategy that was involved. Now, the terminology I'm going to be using will be in ancient Greek, which I realize can make it difficult to understand or memorize at times, but this is essential for the longevity of the art. Pankration for Greece is more than just a combat sport. It's an essential piece of Hellenic culture that has been lost for millennia due to oppression, genocide, and religious warfare. Alpha Mu Omega is the name of the Pankration system that's going to be displayed. Alpha symbolizing the beginning, Mu the middle, and Omega the end, a complete martial art. My goal is to revive Pankration and relive the ancient Hellenic culture while also advancing and modernizing it to adapt to our current times. It's a goal that I've sacrificed much to pursue and can only accomplish with your help. Furthermore, on this channel, I'm going to be posting a series comprising of ancient Hellenic philosophy and its synergy with the philosophy of other eras and cultures. This is needed because martial arts without an inherent philosophical approach are incomplete, a sentiment that has existed throughout the ages and all around the globe. If any of these series interest you, do stay tuned, as I will be posting videos on a weekly to monthly basis. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I will see you in the next video. Till next time.